Starting off on our trip to Rottnest Island, just on the ferry and about to depart. Looking forward to this. And what's the animal we're looking for?
The quokkas.
The quokkas. Let's hopefully we'll find them very soon.
On board today,
We're on our
don't
way.
hesitate to ask one of the friendly crew. In just under an hour's time, we will be arriving at Fremantle before the onward journey to Rottnest Island. Take the time to enjoy the scenic cruise along the Swanriver as we make our way downstream, and be sure to keep your eyes out for dolphins and local wildlife.
As we cruised along the beautiful Swanriver harbour, it gave us a bit of time to contemplate our trip to Rottnest Island. Wadjemup is the Noongar name for the island. It's a place across the water where the spirits are. It's a memorial place for the Aboriginal men and boys whose bodies still rest there on the island.
Here we are, just arriving at Rottnest Island now. Coming into a pretty little harbour. There's quite a few holiday places here where you can come and actually stay overnight.
The name of the island was given by William de Vlaming, Rottnest meaning rat's nest. He thought the quokkas were giant rats.
Well, this is the first beach we've come to on Rottnest Island, just outside the little hamlet. Rather beautiful beach here. Shirley leading the way on our intrepid voyage. Another quite splendid beach here. Just a little bit further on again. Here we are at Henrietta Rocks on Rottnest Island. A beautiful spot. There's an old wreck down there, and there's an old wreck here after cycling up that hill. Two wrecks. Look out there into the island.
It was not until 1831 before anyone lived there. It was Robert Thompson who moved his family to now what is called Thompson Bay. And in 1838 a prison and forced labour camp was set up for Aboriginal men and boys. Over 4,000 were incarcerated there over a 93-year lifespan.
This here is Porpoise Bay, still on the east coast of the island. A lovely sheltered spot. There's an awful lot of seaweed in this one. Quite stunning. You can see wadjemuplighthouse there, and this is Fairbridge Bluff. Surprisingly, another beautiful beach.
Perhaps the most iconic animals on the island are the quokkas. These delightful marsupials are about the size of a domestic cat. It's a herbivore and mainly nocturnal, and can only be found in Western Australia and inhabits some of the smaller islands on the coast. On Rottnest, the population is between 8 and 12,000, with snakes being their only natural predator. They have little fear of humans, especially on the island, but can bite, and we mustn't feed them or try and pick them up. They're really delightful animals, and many people come to the island purely to have their experience and see their naturally smiley faces. Remember though, the maximum penalty for animal cruelty in Australia is £50,000 fine or 5 years in prison. There are wetlands around, an intricate network of salt lakes and small freshwater holes called seeps. The wetlands cover more than 10% of the island, and the salt lakes are 4 times saltier than the Indian Ocean.
Here we are. I'm going to go for a paddle and maybe decide on a swim. Water's quite cold. Even the seagull debating whether or not to go in. No, I'm not going in.
Rottnest is a protected sanctuary with abundant plant, animal, bird and sea life. Rottnest Island is a beautiful place to visit, and the quokkas are quite gorgeous. It's well worth a visit, so if you're in the area, please go and take a look.
Here we are, we've just come to Scarboroughbeach, which is about 14 kilometres north of Cottesloe. This place is renowned for its Thursday afternoon and evening markets, so this is what we've come to see today. And it's not too shabby. Great view right down to Freemantle there. Those really lovely shaded areas. Very smart, nice beach indeed. Lining up to be quite a busy place. We're putting the market up now. What a stunning beach. This is rather nice. Little amphitheatre, all shaded. People can come up from the beach. Nice easy chairs and tables out there. All very splendid. It's like it's a forest, isn't it?
The open air markets were just beginning to set up as we were there, but they were already becoming quite popular. We didn't stay till the evening, but I'm sure it's an absolutely delightful, exciting place to be, with loads of food and lots of activities happening there. What a great little visit it was.
Here we are, we've just stopped into Shorehaven for a quick cup of coffee and a bite to eat. Quite a nice little cafe. Big new estate they're building up here. Putting lots of infrastructure in. And out there in the harbour you can see a sunken ship which went down apparently in the 70s, I think, after it hit the reef out here. That's another lovely, beautiful spot. With a beautiful beach, surprisingly, down below. Here we are at Yanchep National Park. It's about 90 kilometres north of Perth along the coast. Beautiful national park. Some nice old buildings here. And it's there's a beautiful big lake right in the middle of it, but it's well worth a look. The grass is completely covered in kangaroo poo. So they must come here for a holiday as well. It's quite a large lake. Loads and loads of bulrushes and things. You can just see a bit of it here. But most of it is covered in bulrush, so you can't see the expanse of it. And then these beautiful old trees here, beautiful old pepper trees. Just walking down to the lake shore now. Apparently it has the rakali in here. I hope that's how you pronounce it properly, but it's Australia's native otter.
Yanchep National Park is set in beautiful surroundings that have been well planned to enable everyone to enjoy this stunning 221 square kilometre park. Facilities include a wide range of walking trails to suit different abilities and interests. There are crystal caves, treetop adventures, many species of wetland and bushland birds. It is also home to the western grey kangaroos, and you can see koalas in a protected sanctuary as they are not indigenous to Western Australia. The park has a diverse range of trees including paperbark, banksia, jarrah and she-oak. In spring there is a colourful array of wildflowers such as kangaroo paw, Yanchep rose, wattles and native orchids. There is a range of accommodation available in the park and camping is also permitted. There are cafes and picnic areas for visitors. Yanchep National Park is an excellent place to visit and spend at least a day.
We've come up north of Perth and we've come to the Pinnacles. It's about 150 kilometres north and it's a strange desert here where there are loads and loads of rocks that stick out.
The Pinnacles remained mostly unknown to most Australians until about 1967 when it became part of Nambung National Park near the town of Cervantes. A discovery centre was built and opened in 2008, which is very informative, as are all the Australian information centres. There's a lot of wildlife in the area, including western grey kangaroos, black cockatoos, reptiles such as hobtails, sand guanas and carpet pythons. There are thousands of these limestone pillars. Some of the tallest ones reach 3.5 metres. The raw material came from seashells. These shells were broken down into lime-rich sands that were blown inland to form high, mobile dunes. There are three main theories as to how they were formed. The first theory says they were formed as a result of a period of extensive solutional weathering, karstification. The sands initially formed small depressions, which have enlarged over time, and the pinnacles represent the cemented void infills, which are more resistant to erosion. The second theory say they were formed by the preservation of tree casts. The roots became groundwater conduits where the cemented voids hardened and then wind erosion then left them exposed. The third theory says they were formed by root casts of smaller plants. Minerals flowed through the roots and the high amount of calcium from seashells formed into calcrete blocks. Again, these were exposed by wind erosion. Anyway, however they were formed, they are truly spectacular and extend over a very large area. It's well worth the trip up from Perth. It really is a memorable sight.
Just south of Cervantes, just stopped off on the road to see these huge, stunning, pure white sand dunes about 2 or 3 kilometres from the beach, and really huge things. Result of years and years and years of rain and strong weather pushing the sand up here this far out, but it has been bleached by the sun and it's remarkable.
We visited Lake Thetis and the thrombolites and stromatolites. It was amazing to see these structures that are still living and growing rock formations. Most thrombolites and stromatolites are now only seen in fossil form. There are only a few places in the world where the conditions are suitable for the formations to still be living and growing. Lake Thetis is 1.5 times saltier than the ocean, which means that very few species can survive in the area, and this means that the cyanobacteria that lives and continues to bind calcium carbonate with the surface of the stromatolite is not threatened by predators. It is calculated that stromatolites grow at a rate of 5 centimetres every 100 years. Stromatolites are considered to be our planet's earliest life form, and some of the oldest formations have been dated to be 3.5 billion years old. Stromatolites can be distinguished from stromatolites by their mass and random structure. Stromatolites are similar in the way they are formed, but they have a more layered accretion. For more information about thrombolites and stromatolites, there is an excellent exhibition in Perth Museum.
Here we are, we're coming down into a forest of grass trees. And it's very unusual to see so many in one place like this. Just go on as far as the eye can see. Now some of these grow to quite substantial heights.
Grass trees are really ancient species of trees. They grow very slowly, only 2.5 centimetres a year, so some of these very tall trees must be very, very old.
Here we are, it's our penultimate day in Australia, and we're just taking one of the final walks down to our local beach here at Cottesloe. It's a beautiful place, but tinged with a little sadness today.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, we've lots and lots of beaches, and it's a bit of a Paulo Coelho moment when you realise the best one's on your doorstep.
Yeah.
So we're going to enjoy it today.
Looking at the weather forecast in England, we're not looking forward to going back to minus temperatures. It's going to be quite a shock for us, but we're still here. We've still got another full day, so we're going to make the most of it. So we'll see you down on the beach in a minute. On the horizon there you can see Rottnest Island. We were there a couple of days ago. It's about 20 kilometres off the coast. Quite a stunning little place, full of lovely little quokkas. And that was a lovely experience meeting them. Sea looks very warm and inviting this morning. We came down yesterday, but they had a shark warning on, so we actually didn't get into the water. So hopefully today we'll be able to dip our toes for one of the last times in the beautiful Indian Ocean. Unfortunately, we have to fly back to sunny England on Wednesday morning. Really going to miss this. As much as I love City of Wells and Somerset, where we're both coming, and I love walking around the boat, this probably trumps it. It's slightly warmer, slightly sunnier, and there's a bit more water.
Beautiful. And we're here, it's about -3 in Wells at the moment, so you better make the most of this.
Yeah. You know, we've travelled all around the whole of Australia, and we've been based in Cottesloe for about 2.5 weeks now. And I must admit, it's a little bit like a special moment.
Yeah.
When you realise that you can travel everywhere, but sometimes where you're based is the best. I think, as Shirley said a little bit earlier, it's a real Paulo Coelho moment. Oh, I just had some cold water. I just left trunks. That was a bit of a shock. Anyway, this is just lovely.
Great way to end, great holiday.
Bye-bye, and thank you, Australia, very much. We are sitting at the Longview restaurant on our last evening, looking at our last sunset over the Indian Ocean. We've just had a lovely starter of octopus and raw fish. It's absolutely gorgeous restaurant. Lovely dinner start. We're just going to order a lovely bottle of Margaret River Shiraz just to finish the evening. Such a lovely spot. Recommend it to all. Cheers.